Today we are talking about something that I love almost as much as nutrition, and that is thrifting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Melissa, I'm a registered dietitian, and here on my channel we talk about all things food and nutrition, and sometimes other stuff too, like today, where we are talking about thrifting. This is a video that no one asked for, but I want to make it, so I'm making it. I've mentioned in several past videos my love for Goodwill and thrifting, and I have asked if you guys want me to make some thrifting videos. No one has said yes, but I just want to talk about it. So today I'm going to give you a few tips on how to score big when you are thrifting. I love thrifting, first of all, because it saves so much money, especially if you go to places like Goodwill and not like the curated thrift stores that sell everything for way too expensive. You honestly save so much money. Shirts are like $4, dresses are $5, jeans are like $4. I don't know. It's pretty crazy what you can get for such a low price. Also, it's a great way to just try to be more sustainable. The clothing and fashion industry really is pretty terrible when it comes to the environment. A huge portion of landfills is made up of clothing, and these kind of fast fashion brands don't pay people living wages. They're terrible conditions. All these things you have heard before, but they are really great reasons to add some thrifting to your life. However, I feel like if you've never gone thrifting before, it can be a little bit daunting. And if you don't go about it the right way or go in with the right kind of expectations, it can be hard to find good stuff. So today I'm gonna give you a few tips on how to find those gems when you are thrifting. So my first tip is all about location. The reality of it is, if you go to a thrift store in a nicer area of town, there's probably gonna be nicer clothes there. People with more money buy nicer clothes, and then they give those nicer clothes away when they're not wearing them anymore. So if you are looking at like Goodwills in your area or something like that, definitely take note of where they're located, because those nicer parts of town are definitely going to have the nicer clothing. That's not to say you can't find good stuff in a location that's not in as great of a part of town, but you're just gonna have a lot more options in those nicer areas where people are giving away nicer clothes. Tip number 2 is try on all the sizes. It really doesn't matter what size you are, you should look at all the sizes. In the Goodwills by me, they're not separated by sizes, but I know in a lot of them they are, or in a lot of other thrift stores they are. But the reality is a lot of stuff there is not going to be true to size. I mean, obviously if you are normally an extra small, trying on a 3X just is not going to work, but I can tend to wear like a medium or large, but I have bought things that are 2XLs before and they're fine, because these things have been washed tons of times. A lot of them have probably shrunk, some might have been stretched out. So I mean, be smart when you're holding whatever it is up. If it looks tiny, it's probably not gonna fit, but the actual size on the label really is not going to be that indicative of how that piece of clothing is gonna fit. So definitely don't pay attention to sizes when you're shopping, and just pick out things that you like no matter what size they are. Tip number 3 is look for fabrics and patterns that you like. It can be really overwhelming when there's a huge rack and everything's just like stuffed together, and you don't want to spend 3 hours in there going through every single item of clothing. So one thing that I like to do is just kind of keep an eye out for fabrics I know that I like. I tend to like light flowy fabrics and not like stiffer fabrics, and that's really easy to tell when you are looking at a rack. And also keep an eye out for patterns or colors that you like as well when you're just kind of browsing. That can be a really easy way to be able to pick something out without having to go through every single item. And it can also be a good way to kind of narrow things down. Personally, I just don't ever wear like purple or pink or things like that, so I don't even really go to those sections, and if I do, I can very easily pick out like a mauve color amongst a bunch of bright purple shirts and things like that. So keeping an eye out for those specific patterns, colors, fabrics while you're browsing can make it so much easier, rather than going through and saying, do I like the style of this? Do I like the shape of this? Just look for those basics: fabrics, patterns. Tip number 4 is go during off hours. Honestly, this makes such a difference. I really try to go like right when they open or within like an hour of opening because there are very few people there. And also there's going to be the most stuff out as well. The more people that go in before you, the more clothes are being bought and leaving the store. So not only does it help you to kind of get to the good stuff first, but it also helps you avoid a lot of really annoying things that can happen in thrift stores. Like, I hate it so much when I like have a kind of routine of I'm gonna go down this rack and then like you're halfway down and then someone just kind of goes right next to you and now they're gonna go through all that stuff. It's so annoying. Plus I've waited for a fitting room for like 20 minutes before while holding like a huge stack of clothes and it is not fun. So going early in the morning is going to help you avoid all those other customers who don't really know the etiquette. It's going to save you time in terms of waiting, and it's just going to give you the most options in terms of what is out on the floor. And tip number 5 is go often. I tend to go like once every other week, sometimes once a week if I really want to. But the reality is people are donating clothes every single day and there's going to be new stock out pretty much every single day. So are you going to find an entire new wardrobe every single time you go? No, probably not. But I tend to find like 1 to 5 things pretty much every time I go. So at this point I have quite a bit of thrifted clothing and those were all on different trips. And sure, sometimes you go and it's really good and you get a ton of stuff, but sometimes you go and there's only 1 or 2 things or nothing. So going often really is going to increase your chances of finding those gems. It's not like a, you know, department store or something where they're going to have the same things out seasonally, or maybe they bring in new stock like once a week or something. It's always changing. So going often if you want to find those gems is a really good idea. All right, well, that was just a quick little video with some thrifting tips. I hope that you enjoyed this and that maybe you learned something. If you love thrifting like I do, then let me know in the comments below if you have any other tips. If you do want me to make more thrifting videos, even though no one even asked for this one, then please do let me know. And next week we will be back to our regularly scheduled nutrition programming, but sometimes I just like to mix it up a little bit. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you have not already. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram while you're at it. I post lots of food pictures. I don't know when I'm posting this video, but it's either my wedding week or I'm in Italy right now. So I will have some fun pictures, I'm sure. So go ahead and give me a follow on there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.